right, so we are back here on another special dish here on Couch Coach Live, another Wednesday night under the lights. We have some breaking news. It's funny how I always think to myself, man, we gotta find some when we come on live, we gotta have some breaking news at least at some point on a Wednesday at 8 o'clock. But we got what I wanted. We got like a low key early Christmas gift. So according to Woj, the NBA is suspended Draymond Green indefinitely with yesterday's incident with Yusuf Yurkic. Obviously, we'll look at which I'll show the video momentarily where he struck Yurkic, and then also this is his third ejection of the season. We'll talk about that, and then we got that from Woj, but then also Marcus Spears from pretty much from ESPN as well. So he put out the Mark Spears. I don't know why I say Marcus Spears, but Mark with a C at the end. So pretty much and this is a communication release from the NBA. So we talked about the suspension indefinitely. So Green's suspension will begin immediately. He will be required to meet certain league and team conditions before he returns to play. So what we'll do, kind of backtrack, we'll kind of look at what transpired last night in the game. So we'll get that going. And I'll share my screen momentarily. And this, once again, fair use. And we'll get that going.
Green, just such a great passer.
Beal just picked up his third foul. And now Green runs over Nurkic, and he'll be called for the foul. And they're going to take a look at this. See Jason Goebel indicating they will go to the monitor here. Nurkic is down in a heap. Green just plows right over Nurkic. And we'll see if there's anything unnecessary added to it. Oh, man.
Well, that's going to be a flagrant.
Yeah, for
and now they're going to just try to decide if they think it was excessive. It's going to be at least a flagrant one, could be a 2.
Which would be an ejection. Well, that is a swipe across the face.
Green makes unnecessary and excessive contact to the face. The foul has been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty 2, and Green has been ejected from the game.
There you go.
All right. So, now your thoughts on what transpired last night, and now the breaking news story now with Draymond being out indefinitely. Your thoughts?
I am shocked about the indefinitely, but then after seeing that, I'm like, this, you know what I mean? Like, come on, Draymond. You know what I mean? When you heard, it's funny, we doing it kind of later than most people, but once you hear everybody talk about it, they dissecting it so much, like to the point he only do this to like foreign players. I'm just being honest with you. These are all the things that people were saying today. You know what I mean? And then he gave I think he knew he had to say a reason that I don't ever think a lot of this stuff is intentionally. I think he's getting paid to be an enforcer type of player. That has always been his niche. He's not underground, but an undersized power forward that's very skillful. And he's been successful. They're not winning any championships without him. Golden State will not have the success without him. But so in some type of way, I'm saying has been paid to be that type of player because it's been happening from the get-go. It's like if we lose you, blah, 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 but we need that intensity. We need that. And now I think the league is changing and it's starting to catch up with him. And it's been going on for a while. You know what I mean? It's been some years now. It's almost 10?
10, yeah.
About 10 years that it's been that style of play. And one thing people know, you have to transit. It's like I was watching and heard Rasheed Wallace spoke about one thing he hated. He held the ball up a certain way and they gave him a tech. That was his first tech. And that's what people know. Remember, Rasheed Wallace is always getting these technical fouls, which unless you love basketball, he's more than that. But for me, I can't stick up for that. I hear exactly what he said. Like, even when he did that thing with LeBron stepped on him. I knew exactly what he was doing because I played against basketball players that would do that type of thing, try to figure out a way to get a foul, or you know what I'm saying, or even hold you back in some type of way. So, but man, you turned around and basically smacked him in his face. So, but I'm gonna give it to you, Coach. But one thing somebody said is everybody's human beings, and it just seemed like since this keeps happening, there's something behind the scenes, or maybe something going on personally, and it's starting to trigger onto the court because he is a veteran and he has to know when to turn it on and when to turn it off.
Yeah, the thing about this, I was thinking, before the breaking news today, I was thinking more on the lines like 10 to 25 games. That's why I was looking at it from this standpoint. I think the NBA is right in as far as at least having it definite to a point where, hey, you have to do some stuff. This ain't a situation where we're gonna put a cap on the number of games that you've missed. It's to a point where this year. Now we're talking about the 2023-2024 season. We've only it ain't even been 2 months since the league this year started. Right. He's been ejected from the game 3 times. He just came back from a 5-game suspension. I want to say about 5 games ago. I mean, I really think. That sounded crazy, but he's essentially just returned back from a 5-game suspension. You look at like the infraction from the past. And that's crazy. We talk about Draymond Green again. We just talked about him like 2 weeks ago of the same similar situation. Like this hitting Nurkic like that. That could have went very, very wrong. Like it's to a point I think he could have potentially broke a bone in that guy eye. I mean, if it was one of those things where if he turned around a few seconds earlier. Because he wasn't expecting that. Because, like he said, like I didn't think that was going, because you got your back towards him. You're not going to think somebody's going to swing at you and hit you like right here. He's really literally 2 or 3 seconds away. If he would have came earlier, that he would have had a broken bone in his eye. Like, dude, like this. I mean, it could have been very catastrophic. And this is one of those where, like you said, people got away with this because of their winning ways and the game has evolved. And now Golden State, they're not the team that we've looked at. They have regressed, and it's because of just everything, just the attrition and just of age. But to me, I just think Draymond, like, it's got to get to a point where this got to stop. Like we like you said, this thing has gone for almost nearly a decade. But now when you sit down, you think about it, even just this year. He has a rap sheet this year, and it's like, dude, you got this is crazy. And it sucks because to me it's kind of selfish for him to put himself in this position, because even though Golden State is struggling, they still need him. That's the thing about the situation, and it's just like you're really gonna cost, because the team is struggling. Like even like last night, you look at how. I think they got 80 points off their bench last night. And it gets to a point where, he is needed. And I think, God, they had like a below 500 record when he's not playing. So you're going to add to that because you're going to be indefinitely. I'm going on the assumption that he's going to miss a good chunk of time going into. I know he probably may miss the rest of this calendar year in 2023. He'll be back in 2024 at some point. But they need him, man. It's like, and that's so unselfish of him to put himself in a predicament and doing a stupid play like that in a game in damn December. It's crazy.
You think he's doing this, man, because he's trying to light a fire into like Wiggins and those guys that got their contracts and won the championship, and they're not looking to really get rid of them?
The thing is, he shouldn't have did it in this regard. Like,
I mean,
Like I can I can understand. Yes, you give him like a pause, a hard foul,
right?
But dude, you cannot face somebody to the back of them and then you swing like this. Yeah. You can't do that. If you want to make a statement, push some, they're a layup. There's so many different ways that you could light a fire and say that you could like I said, you could have physically harmed him. Like Jokic could have missed a significant amount of games this season if if his hand connected to his eye or some part of that audible bone or that stuff in that part of your eye, that's scary. Like even you're just like, I didn't expect that. When I was coming back, I wasn't expecting me to get hit like that.
Think Chris Paul, doing this cancer thing, right? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like they're getting older. They own Clay hard. Everybody's on Clay hard. They own Clay hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just the only thing you hear about Draymond is he's choking people.
Yeah.
But I mean, before we move on, I'm gonna be honest with everybody. Like, I am a LeBron James fan, so I used to watch a lot of Warrior games, and they foul. I hate to say this, they foul. They always have. You know what I mean? And it's just like now, a lot of things that they do because they're getting older, you're starting to see it because now they really need to do those specific things. They've always fouled like this. Clay used to do little things. I mean, it is what it is. But in terms, that's because they play a certain style of basketball, and their mindset is we want to win a championship every year. So they always playing that way. They don't take nights off. I will give Golden State that. So they play that style of basketball. It's just now they're getting older, and it's just they're calling it now. It is the bottom line. And then they're not really dealing with. They're very sensitive to a lot of things this year. Like, I mean, even look at how some of the stuff they're doing to LeBron. Like, LeBron's getting a lot more technicals than usual. You know what I mean? Like, they're very sensitive to a lot of things. So, but they're not going to be dealing with Draymond being that way because clearly they're not going to. Indefinitely, I definitely didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah, and I'm glad they did that because now, like I talked about it earlier, there's no cap to the suspension. So I definitely commend them because that definitely not, like you said, I definitely not think because they really have been soft about Draymond Green. I mean, his whole entire career when it comes to these type of infractions. Like even situation with Rudy a few weeks ago.
Right.
Now like 5 games, like
Right.
you know.
In his podcast in the championship, he pulled Jaylen Brown down. Like, he pulled him down. Like, you saw him pull him down. And he was like, well, I had already got a text. So, they usually be lenient on you getting your second text. So, he's telling you that. You know what I mean? So, like.
Yeah. Shout out to I got EJ. Oh, it's Draymond. Well, I don't know. I low key because I think I don't know. Dre, he low key. I don't think he like I said he a low key fake tough guy. On the low.
Yeah, he
but
is.
Nurkic, I don't know. Like he got that strength though. Look, I don't know. That's gonna be evenly matched.
I think I hear y'all. I know y'all correct. I think you have dudes that'll jump up and talk that trash. They'll fight, but that don't necessarily mean they're gonna win the fight. They usually be the ones like, man, that's why I don't like going nowhere with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like going nowhere with you, B, because you always starting something.
Yeah. I don't know. A part of me, because like Jokic was really calm, and that's kind of scary. Where it's like, because I know, like with me, if you swing on me like that, I'm like you're gonna see the worst of me. You can see the north side of me out of me. But Jokic was calm. It's almost like it kind of reminded me of it reminded me of having Drago when he got that first hit from Apollo Creed because he was just like he was just sitting there just calm, and I'm like, yo, Jokic was calm, like everything that happened because dude, like you gotta think to yourself, if somebody swing for you, you had that fight or flight kind of thought in your mind. Jokic was like, okay.
No, what really is supposed to happen is his teammates were supposed to jump. His teammates were supposed to jump in on Draymond's face. But it seemed like when you watch it, it seems so dramatic. Like, oh, damn. Like, you know what I mean? And you know what's funny? It almost looked like everybody know, yo, he got something going on with him. Because really, the Suns were supposed to jump on him. They didn't, though. They seemed like they was, more or less trying to make sure Nurkic was over.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I got my money be on Jokic.
Mine is too.
My money be on Nurkic because he was kind of calm. He was like scary calm. Like I hit this man with my best shot. Oh he finna do work on me. Pause.
He
Pause.
failed though. When he got
Pause.
hit though, he did fall though. He definitely fell to the ground, held his jaw.
Yeah,
I still think, oh boy,
that's.
again. I think
uh,
Jokic is getting, but still, I still
yeah,
think. Can you see
but
Draymond bouncing around trying to box him?
yeah, man, that's just ridiculous, man.
Anyway,
But yeah, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna kick that intro. We'll get with the rest of the show. So we'll talk about the Monday Night Football doubleheader that
right.
shockingly lived up to the bill. Oh, and we forgot today's a special day. Today it's Tay Day. It's Taylor Swift's birthday. So we'll talk about her boyfriend, BFF, Travis Kelce. Not Travis Kelce, but Patrick Mahomes. So we'll talk about Taylor's boyfriend, BFF, Patrick Mahomes, and his beef with the referees. Shohei Ohtani, our cousin. He our cousin now because he got seven. He had a 10-year, $700 million contract. He our cousin.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's
We'll talk about. We also talk about the Lakers winning the in-season tournament. We'll talk about our games to watch, picks, and all that. So what we're gonna do, we'll take that quick intro and we'll get the show going right now here on Couch Live. And following our breaking news story. Yes, indeed. Big shout out to Big Kirko. They definitely needed you this week, but you did your thing on the Madden cast, and we're here. So speaking of Madden cast, man, it's so funny when you look at and when you sit down and you think about Monday Night Football. I know we talked about it last week. Oh man, these games are gonna be trash. This is gonna be a Monday Night Football doubleheader. I think I even joked like, "Hey, maybe you should take a week off." But I don't know. This was arguably one of the best Monday Night Football double headers that we've had in quite some time. Two close games and two major upsets where you had the Giants beating the Packers 24-22. Then you also had the Titans getting their first road win of the year against the Miami Dolphins 28-27. What was your thoughts on the Monday Night Football double header?
It was great, man. Both great games. I see them, really. The quarterback did well. You know what I mean? You can't 17 for 21 or 158 yards. Not going to knock him. One game, you know what I'm saying? He ran for 96 yards, 71 yards, something like that. But he ran for a lot of yards. I think Saquon Barkley was balling. I wish the Giants had a little bit better ball blocking because it was sometimes I felt like they had a couple touchdowns they could have had if they'd have blocked better. I'm talking about receivers anyway, but and then both games was great, man. I really felt like Miami should have won. I think Miami to me need to focus on ski, and you may not agree, but focus more on trying to win the Super Bowl and get to like the AFC Championship than trying to have swag and trying to joke around. Because as I was watching the game, it just seemed like they just knew they were going to win. Like, they looked comfortable to me until the heat was on, and you know what I mean. They think they about to hit the quarterback, and the quarterback wanted that game. Was it Will
Levis, yeah, Will
yeah, he wanted
Levis.
that game, B. Like he was
Yeah.
chumping them. Like he wasn't sliding, he was running over him. And that didn't do nothing but inspire D Hop. That inspired Henry. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if you're doing that, then let's go. You know what I'm saying? So I just man, you gotta play the game. Every game, you cannot be lackadaisical. And I'm a Steeler. And a lot of times when I see these Steelers where they think they're supposed to win, they're very lackadaisical. You know what I mean? So great gift, great games. Congratulations, especially to the fans. They got to see some upsets. That's what we love.
Yeah. And I actually love the fact that they did this because normally the doubleheaders are one game's at 7, and the other one's like at 8:15. So these games kind of simultaneously happen at the same time. It was great, kind of going back and forth between the two. I think the majority of the time I was watching the Giants and the Packers because that was more of the closer game than it is from start to finish. Tommy DeVito. Once again, I'm a victim of Tommy Cutlass as a Commanders fan. So, another great performance by him. You just look at even with the turmoil with the Giants having such a terrible season, and then you're looking at the infighting within the organization, within the coaching staff, they still came out and played and won. Then Green Bay is, oh my God, Green Bay. I'm so glad I'm not a Packers fan because they are so like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde all at once. One like Thanksgiving, they look fantastic. They look great against the Lions. Then they dropped the ball again with the in this game. They looked good. The previous week they went to they beat the Chiefs. At home, last week. And now they dropped the bomb like this. It's kind of one of, even though they're still in the playoff, they're the 7th seed in the AFC. So, I mean, not the AFC, but the NFC. So they still got time to kind of ride that ship and do his thing. The Titans and the Dolphins was really odd because that game wasn't close, and it was weird because with 4 minutes to go, they had the Dolphins had a 14-point lead. They were up 27-13, and then obviously they must have put some mayo in Will Levis' coffee because he went a little off in that fourth quarter.
You see that flicker? That flicker when that was the change of the game to me.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, and the thing with it too is like the Dolphins, and like I said, I think the Dolphins. That's one thing they gotta realize. You gotta win these type of games, especially when you look at the seeding in the AFC, where, could I see them going to Baltimore winning the AFC Championship? I doubt it. With the Kansas City situation, they 8-5, so they wouldn't necessarily book. But it's like, Miami gotta take business.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're really seeing a lot about this Miami Dolphins team. Like, and they're gonna, that's one thing they need to kind of get their act together because quiet is kept. That Buffalo Bills team is playing some good football right around this time, and you want to close that gap with this team, and you think because they're 7-6 now. They still kind of fight their way into the playoffs, but then you dropping the ball like this in this game. Miami got the AFC East is not sold up, so they definitely need to take care of business. And like you said, that swag all you want.
Yeah.
It's gonna swag in Baltimore. You want to have the AFC Championship game in Miami,
and just like something going on too. Because let me tell you, oh man, what's my man Tyreek Hill? Like I keep seeing his wife for what? You know what I'm saying? Like he just he did that flip and that dude got fired, took his phone. Then I keep seeing things with his wife, like his wife knocked this dude's food all over his hair, and he was saying, "Oh, it's her fault." Like I keep seeing that, and I'm like, okay, man, I know you got your championships and you got your contract, but you know what I mean? And then like even that, he said I had to go back in the game because my baby texted me, blah blah blah. And I was like, they were talking about that, and I'm like, okay, y'all playing too much. And then I'm sorry, one more thing. Like Tua, I think this is the first time like it could have been about him, and it was a 3rd and 3, and they needed this first down, and I felt like I knew he was gonna run. If you're gonna run, bro, you gotta run. You can't be out there Russell Wilson and dancing around. You gotta run, or they gonna pop you, and you're not the guy that need to be getting popped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm telling you, they cannot afford to lose Tyreek Hill because when he was not in that game, their offense looked lost. It's almost like I thought you had speed all over the place, but obviously I think that speed just comes with Tyreek Hill. But yeah, man, Miami, man, it's I wish we would have had that type of mentality when we played them last week, but we didn't. But we had no that.
Hey, B, I feel you, B. Like I got a Travis Hunter on my team, and they won't use him. I'm not. You got he's 6'5", 6'4", and you just got him on the outside and you doing all these plays, he'd be wide open. It's just the word. It's like, and then they act like them young receivers on my team are not supposed to say anything. They supposed to just sit there and keep quiet when they like, I'm gonna have to have a contract negotiation too. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if you're, what am I supposed to do? But anyway,
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do now, we'll talk a little Patrick Mahomes. So let me get this going. All right. So Patrick Mahomes. Let me get that going. All right, there we go. So obviously, we talked about good games. We talked about the Monday Night Football doubleheader, which were two great games. But arguably the best game of the week was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills matchup. So we'll set it up. So with a minute 25 left to go, it was the 2nd and 10. Pretty much Kansas City was driving. They pretty much was like yards away from being in field goal range and kind of tying this football game up. At this time, the Bills was up 20-17. So Patrick Mahomes drops back the pass. Now, what's crazy about the situation is, Patrick Mahomes drops the pass. So then he sends it to Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce do his thing. Then he does a forward lateral to Kadarius Toney. But even in the call, there was a flag that was there was a flag that was at the line of scrimmage before the even play started. So in that case, it was Kadarius Toney was offsides and pretty much lined up in the neutral zone and pretty much negated arguably probably the best play of the year. So if you watch the broadcast, Patrick Mahomes went off in a very uncharacteristic way that we haven't seen him go off. We've seen him kind of go off, but I think this one was like kind of whoa. It's like kind of an eye-opening experience. We're not going to show the actual him being upset with that, but I definitely want to show the presser. It's just like a minute clip. We'll talk as far as his thoughts on his aggression and the referees and what have you. So I'm going to cue that up momentarily, and we'll play that. And once again, this is another one, fair use. So we'll get that going, get that queued up.
I mean, it's a legendary moment, man. I mean, nothing that's not taught, something only a couple people in this world would even think about doing. And for making the catch, making a couple dudes miss, and throwing the ball across the field with the guy and scoring a touchdown in that moment. I hope they still show it whenever he goes into the Hall of Fame, because that's a legendary moment that we didn't get to really witness. As like I said, elementary school, we talk about, you line up, you point to the ref, you're good, you're not good. If not, they come to you, you need to get off the ball more, you need to be on the ball more. You have a discussion. I mean, that's the ref's job. I mean, you want to have an open discussion so that you can go out there and put the best product you can on the field. And for him to throw that flag, no explanation, no anything. And I saw the picture, and I mean, he probably is, barely offsides, but for him to take the game into his hands over a call like that doesn't affect the play at all, didn't affect anything. I mean, it's just tough, man. And like I said, man, that's a Hall of Fame tight end making a Hall of Fame play that won't be shown because we threw a flag for an offensive offsides. And so it takes away from not only this game and this season, but from a legendary career that Travis has had. And I mean, that hurts me because I know how hard he works for it.
All right. So we'll talk about the play and then also Patrick Mahomes at the presser. What's your thoughts on it?
The hell is he talking about? He was offsides. Like, this, you know what I mean? Like, you have receivers like, yeah, every once in a while, the ref will tell they may need to back up you offsides, and you really should check with the ref. But the hell is he talking about, B? You were offside. I understand over the years you've been getting calls from the third quarter through the you always tend to get calls that go your way. But he was offsides. If you really, the play was great. You know what I'm saying? But how you say Kadarius Toney?
Yeah, Kadarius Toney, yeah.
He has been an issue for you, Mahomes, since game one, or when
Yep.
he tweeted he dropped balls. Then he was trying to nerd to be talking about the Giants. What did I say? Like he's extremely underachieving, man. Like, he got the biggest pass he got against the Jags, it was 35 yards. He only got one TD for this whole season. He's at 174 yards. Like, this was the dude that's supposed to take Tyreek Hill's position. Like, I think he's underachieving myself. And you, Patrick Mahomes, you got Andy Reid. Yeah, you know what I mean? What's going on? That's probably why they losing. Like, like 18 yards. I was like, what the hell? You know, anyway, like when he plays against the Giants his rookie year, he got 39 passes and then 424 yards. He is not that dude anymore. He's not that dude. Like last year, he only got 14 passes for 100. Was it say 171 yards career the whole season? That's all he got. Like if you want to talk about somebody, I ain't saying in public. You need to be talking to him because he's been in the league for a good minute and he needs to step up. Like you had to do a lateral for him to make a touchdown. He only got one TD this whole season. That's how I feel about it. I don't know what Patrick Mahomes, but he's acting really spoiled to me.
I think the thing about it, I think the play, it would have been by far, I think in my personal opinion, would have been the best play of the season. Especially considering the fact, we just lost Frank Wycheck. Obviously, Frank Wycheck had one of the best plays. You see the miracle where he latered it to Kevin Dyson. Right. So I look at it from that standpoint, like, damn, like we definitely, that would have been that would have been fitting for a moment like that.
Right.
But the rules is the rules, and the thing about the Kadarius Toney situation is, yes, he was lined off sides, and it was clear as day. And it's just like one of those where I get it. I get your frustration. I get it. Like, it's in the heat of the moment. I think now if he sit back now, we 3 days removed from it. Okay, yeah. And he even said in the presser, well, he was a little bit offsides. It ain't no such thing as a little bit offsides. You're offsides or you're not. It's that like my English teacher used to say, one of my English teachers in 11th grade, it ain't no such thing as being pregnant or a little bit pregnant. You're pregnant. Right. So up to a point, I think that the situation at hand, like you said, it's he was in a neutral zone. You can't, like, it's almost to a point where you should have traveled back with the Bills in Buffalo. You were so far, you pretty much was on. You could have almost had the Bills had 10, 12 men on the field. It like because you were lined up right next to them. I guarantee you those guys knew what you had for lunch. You were that close, and not to be dramatic and all, but I get it. And then I think Patrick Mahomes mad because look, we lost another game. We 8-5. Man, I'm gonna have to play a playoff game on the road. Like I'm gonna, it's gonna, so it's just one of those where, I get his frustration, but I'm at a point where I understand even in that game, I think Dan Orlovsky did a great job as far as looking at some plays, and he said he lined up about 6 times. So I kind of understand from Patrick's perspective in a sense, because if you didn't call it, because I think Dan Orlovsky said it, the second play of the first drive of the game, Toney lined up offsides in that one, but they didn't call that one. And there was a couple of infractions where they never called it. And I understand that from his perspective, but it's almost like, to me, it's like we always, my perfect analogy of a situation is speeding. You gonna have most time we're gonna go past over the speed limit due to the flow of the traffic. But what's gonna happen is you're gonna be that little red Corvette that's gonna get stopped. Nobody else gonna get stopped. Everybody else can go the same speed as you, but you're gonna get stopped. And this is another classic case of that. And I understand Patrick Mahomes, guess what? You ain't the only one. Every NFL team has had a play that has screwed them this year. Welcome to the club, Patrick Mahomes. For the first time in God knows when, you had a game that did rep and screw it. Thank God it only happened to you in December 2023. Be thankful, Patrick.
Can I say something? First off, like, what is you talking about? Like, you just messed this special play up. Like, what? I feel like they probably practiced them to say, hey, man, step over. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, you saying it like, man, you don't never call it usual. But if what was it on the other side? He would say, man, he's lining up off sides. Like, wasn't it like a championship, a playoff game last year where they were playing extremely physical? They were letting them grab each other, and then all of a sudden they call it like an offensive foul. Something happened, and I was like, yeah, why would they call that when they've been physical the whole game? And it went Kansas City's way.
Are you talking about the Super Bowl where
I think so.
Bradbury and Juju? But that was a hold. But like you said, in that time is kind of one of those where, but yeah, and I think we talk about this a lot in basketball where we always say like in crunch time, hey, do you swallow the whistle? The whistle. Pause.
Right. Extremely.
Pause. I mean, it's a sports thing, you know.
Right. I'm with you.
Charge to the game, fellas.
Right.
Y'all know my heart.
Right.
Pause.
But like you said, let me ask you a question. Like, what about with Joker just got kicked out the game for complaining? You know, I'm just trying to. It's like his complaint to me is not as good as the Joker saying he got fouled, and then they get so sensitive and they get, you know what I'm saying, they kick him out of the game. Like, I feel like you need to get at your receiver and say, hey man, look, you need to line up. But I believe that they probably tell them, hey man, line up right here. If you don't say anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, just so he can get a jump on the line.
And I'm almost to a point if I'm them. I mean, I know this don't sound really, dude. I'm gonna sound like a little league head coach right now, man. I'm at the point where if I'm Andy Reid, I'm like, all right, Kadarius, you get that clearance from the referee, you give a thumbs up. So anybody ever say, hey, you lined up in a neutral zone, we could go back and look at that film and be like, you got your thumbs up. Right. Just put your thumbs up and let the referee say, hey, side judge, thumbs up, right? I'm good. All right. And then that's all I'm doing. I'm sitting at the pad. Pat gonna look at it and be like, yep, because I'm that's what I'm saying. That's gonna be, to me, that'll be my whole plan.
Right. To me too, I think y'all need to be getting rid of this Tony fella. He's been a situation this whole year. I hate to tell y'all that. I'm sorry. He's dropping balls. The game that y'all necessarily needed. The Bills too. Y'all know y'all always supposed to spank the Bills, if anything. That's why you know what I'm saying? It's like, he needs to be. He needs to be replaced.
But that's the thing. I mean, you think about it. I mean, this dude, Kadarius Toney, was a first round pick. Like, people gotta realize he was a first round pick, and they got rid of him for next to nothing. So that just shows you essentially what the Giants thought about him as well, because it's very hard for you to get rid of a first round pick. Because I think Kadarius Toney probably was drafted like in 2000. I mean, in 2020 or either 2021. So I mean, you got to think to yourself, they got rid of him in less than in a year. You know how hard it is for a first round pick to just get traded for a bag of peanuts or a bag of chips or Cheetos or cookies or cake.
Balled his rookie year. I'm telling you, the next year
it was hard. Yeah,
I'm thinking 100 something, and then the year after that, it was nothing. He got like 2 catches for nothing, and then he's been in Kansas City for 2 years, and I'm like, yo, y'all got him at a number 1, and he's only had 1 TD this year and 170 something yards for the whole season. That's crazy to me. Maybe I'm tripping.
And what's weird is he had a good game in the Super Bowl, and that's where it's like it's weird. Like, all this stuff is just it's bizarre. It's just all of it. And like you said, like, because that's the weirdest thing with it. Yeah, and I mean, you got it. Like, to me, if somebody give you a first round pick, he literally got traded a year and a half after he got drafted. That's a red flag right there. That's like somebody telling me, hey, I got a $50 gift card and I'm gonna give it to you for $10. Right. No, I'm good, because that gift card is no good.
Then when he dropped balls in the first game, and then when the Giants, I think they first game, something happened, he tweeted about it. And everybody was like, what did you worry about the Giants for? You're not playing no more, but you dropping balls to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, it cost him the Lions game. If he cost him the Lions game.
That was his first first time he lost in his first week, right, or something like that, right?
That was opening. That was the first game of the
Yeah,
season. Yep,
yeah,
that was the one I called the Lions too. So don't get it twisted. Yeah, I called that.
You did. You like, I think this is going to be, I don't know,
Lions.
first time. That's funny.
Yep. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's just like this holiday season, man. Don't fall for them gimmicks, man. You see what the Chiefs got to deal with. I told him, hey, I give you this $50 gift card for $5. Hey man,
Right.
that gift card don't even work. You lost your $5, player.
Patrick got his money, and then Kelsey. Then they said, rather than them trying to get some players, no disrespect, but try to get some players, they worried about Taylor Swift. Trying to take that, trying to use that Coach Prime setup. Have some, you know what I mean? Like ain't nobody slick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You know what's going on.
Yeah, man. They know, and they know the day Tay Day. So you know what I'm saying.
Tay Day, Lord have mercy. Tay Day.
Yeah. So we gotta talk about family business at this point. This family business because we got we got new cousins. You know what I'm saying? So we got definitely talk about Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, he's a pitcher and a designated hitter. He's a 2023 AL MVP. He's a 3-time All-Star. He led the American League last year with 44 home runs. He signed with the Dodgers, 10-year, $700 million contract. The interesting thing about his contract is, so during the 10 years that he will be in this contract from now to 2033, he'll get paid about $2 million annually. So during the years of 2023 and 2043, that's going to be essentially he'll get paid $68 million annually. Essentially 10 years after after the contract essentially ends, in a sense, so he'll get more of his money on the back end. So essentially think about it as pretty much a 20-year contract for $700 million and $68 million you could get annually 10 years starting in 2034. So what's your thoughts on our cousin?
Hey man,
getting paid?
Congratulations. I when I was learning about this, I was watching the channel. It was nothing but females, and they were speaking on it, and that's all they sound. Oh, I'm trying to. We can have coffee. Like they were so excited. Like I'm like, you ain't getting the money. Oh man, we can have a party and drink some tea, and then I'm sitting there like, damn, $700 million. That's how they go. That's how they get. Wow. Yeah. Congratulations to him, man.
Yeah.
I don't really have much. Like they said, MVP, American League MVP. Seemed like he's the biggest name in baseball right now, and I guess he's well deserved. You know what I mean? Played both sides. Is what it is. He's going with the Angels, though, right? Oh no, the Dodgers.
Dodgers, yeah. He's with the Dodgers.
So he's going against the. He going. He on some Babe Ruth stuff. He going to the enemy, huh? Because wasn't he with the
Angels? Yeah. So he ain't got to go too far. Cross the hall, in a sense.
Right. No magic on them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, and we talk about the girls. We could, like what Jay-Z, what his cousins used to tell him, look, give me $4,000. I can make you a millionaire. That's the type of cousins we gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So definitely try to talk cousin. But it's definitely well deserved. I mean, like you said, he is the face of Major League Baseball. You definitely have a guy that has a dual role. He'll bring so much excitement to the Dodgers, especially now. You just look at it. It's almost when you think of, and I hate to say this out loud, but the Dodgers versus the Angels, almost like the Lakers and the Clippers. He's now gone to the Lakers as far in the sense like the most popular brand in baseball. So I love it. I love that he's going, to the Dodgers. And then I like this idea of him getting, almost like a Bobby Bonilla type situation where he'll get that money because Shohei, he'll be 30 in July. So you think to yourself, in 2034, he would be 40. So between the ages of 40 and 49, he'll get paid $68 million annually. So that's a great. I love that idea in a sense, because now you think to yourself, in 10 years, who knows what's going to happen in 10 years from now? Will he still be playing in the league? Because he might be still playing at 40. We don't know.
Right.
But at least getting that cushion right there, $68 million. And I think another thing I like about the situation with him, as far as being able to do that as well. And I just love that. And we're gonna get to a point that it's funny, and I think in our lifetime, we're not even lifetime. I think in the next maybe 5 to 10 years, we're gonna have a baseball player making $1 billion.
Right.
It's crazy. We're almost right there. I mean, it's crazy to think how
he doesn't have an agent, right?
I don't know if he has an agent or not, but
okay.
The thing that's interesting, because it's crazy because I remember when these guys were getting egregious contracts. I remember A-Rod when he got $125 million. Bryce Harper got his money. Juan Soto, these guys got their deals. And now I think, man, this man is getting $700 million. We're literally $300 million away from a player in this league becoming a billionaire off of one contract.
Crazy.
Man, all that do is make me want to have me a little son. And hey, we gonna learn how to pitch and hit.
Hey, yeah.
Okay?
Did you hear? Did you listen to? Because I watch Gil's. It's my favorite podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So Kenyon Martin told his son, man, go ahead. What you need to do is snip it up, and what you need, but then go freeze you up some stuff, and then go fire you a WNBA girl, and then y'all do y'all thing, so y'all can have that's crazy.
Yeah, how your athlete, yeah, man.
Have your man child. That's not the first time I heard that, and I really I had an old produce manager, Ohio State fan. He said the same thing. He said, man, I'm like, you got to get one of them women with hips. Them the ones that bring out the ball. I was like, you crazy.
And people laugh, but that's what LeVar Ball was saying. Hey, I'm an athlete, my wife an athlete, and look what we got. 3 boys that was in the NBA.
Right.
LeVar set the bar. You know what I'm saying?
Brian ain't playing tonight. Okay.
Of course, it's the back-to-back. But yeah.
I knew he was tired. last night. That's why he shot all those 3.
Yeah, man. But yeah, shout out to our cousin, man.
Crazy.
Shohei, my bad, Shohei. We having something at the crib, Christmas, man. Pull up, you know what I'm saying?
He pull up. Where the yams at?
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Come on, cuz if you ain't trying to pull up on Christmas, hey, we will have something New Year's, man. We'll have some black eyed peas, brother.
You know what's funny about that? Because my mom moved, you know what I'm saying? So my daughter was like, man, I sure want some sweet yams. Like, you know what I mean? Like Nina, like Nina made. So I went to my old boy's house and I said, I'm just gonna get some yams for my daughter. She don't want no sweet potato casserole. She wants some she wants some yams. I was like, I hear you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we get so we'll talk about our final topic of the night. So we'll talk about the LA Lakers winning the in-season tournament, the inaugural in-season tournament. So they beat the Pacers to win their first ever in-season tournament. So ratings was very well. So the average viewership was 4.5 million views. It peaked at 5.6 around 11 o'clock hour. Obviously, right as the fourth quarter and all that was going on. So pretty much that was the most watched non-Christmas game since February of 2018.
Right.
Now it's a 46% increase compared to last year's ABC debut with the Warriors and the Celtics. And then also there will be a banner that the guys will that they will have. What is it? Starting on it'll be on Monday for their in-season tournament championship. So what are your thoughts on in-season tournament? And then also Any ways to improve it? What you got?
Any ways to improve it? I thought it was great. I thought that any way to make these guys or make people want to watch it earlier, especially after like October, because we get hyped up for it to happen. Those early games, unless it's like your team got some, like teams making these moves, you don't really care about them. For me, it's tradition to watch the game on Christmas. It's going to really be a big thing when LeBron retire, because that's something that me and my dad been, that's his birthday. But I don't see anything different. Okay, I'm really excited to see what you're going to say, but I will say this: I like the money, but I think a lot of teams didn't take it as serious, and I think now, like for instance, I think the Bucks didn't look as good. I think they didn't look as good as we thought, and I think Boston too. You know what I mean? They thought since they got Porzingis that they wasn't gonna miss some people that they lost, like Greg Williams and blah blah blah. Same with the Bucks. Like we already said, like I'd rather have Holiday than Dame. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's good for the Bucks because jerseys and stuff, but I'd rather have Holiday. So I think that hit reality of the chemistry you have to have when you playing in games that really mean something. Like your team has really got to be clicking. I was good for a fact. I like Bruce Brown. I like Halliburton. So you got to see that even the Pelicans, man. I like the Pelicans. Always have. I just think they got outclassed. And they ain't never been in that predicament either. A lot of those players that was on the Pelicans. So it gives it helps the experience to be in like those type of competition for players. It's just great, man. If you gamble, it's even better. I think that's even the reason why it was such a success. I think a lot of guys is doing the online gambling, and it was perfect that even being in Vegas. To make it better, very easy. I think they should get a draft pick. Whoever wins should get a draft pick. I seen that on the podcast earlier. I think that's perfect. You're already doing the money. I think with the in-season tournament, I think some teams that play hard all year didn't mess around being in the not the in-season tournament, but the what's the tournament before the playoffs?
Oh, the play-in.
The playing game. Like you said, you can lose a position for a draft pick sometimes. You know what I mean? I think that's what they were talking about. You kind of mess up your position of being like you can mess around be 7 and you be low. It's like it's just something. I just think they should do a draft pick. I think you should win money. And then you also should get like an asterisk, like a wild card draft pick, maybe 14, between 11 and 14.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I loved it. Like, it's to a point where I didn't necessarily like the group play. I think, not me, because group play was between Tuesdays and Fridays. So it was a little difficult. But I think once the quarterfinals started, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I talked about it last week where I was so busy watching Boston versus the Pacers on a Monday night, and I kind of was like going back and forth between the Monday Night Football game last week. I think that was Cincinnati and Jacksonville. I was going back and forth between that, and the Indianapolis crowd was almost like a playoff. It was a playoff type of atmosphere, and it was awesome. And then you even look at Sacramento and LA, those those teams that hosted. It was great. And I think like the improvement, I do agree with you as far as having the draft pick. I kind of want a low key, and I think to kind of sweeten the pot, I think what they should do is have that. But I think their odds should almost be similar to like a top pick. May not necessarily be like a top pick because I'm not sure what lottery odds are, but they should have high lottery odds in that sense where because you'll be a part of draft lottery because what you're gonna do in the sense you're gonna have those. The players may not like it, but that management, for sure. Like if you look at like your team, like the Spurs, Pop will have them guys to play because like, look, if I get 2 first-round picks, I'm gonna do my thing because look now because you look how bad San Antonio and Detroit are. I guarantee you they would have been busting tail for 2 or 3 weeks if they would have knew this was something that was going to happen. Like you said, something that could benefit everybody because simple fact, hey, I want to have 2 draft picks, especially if you're like we talk about Detroit and San Antonio, you can have potentially 2 lottery picks. And all you're essentially just doing is playing 3 weeks of group play and then and then you playing like a single elimination tournament. So hell,
Right.
you just gotta win what 3-4
Ooh.
games.
So you
But
saying
yeah.
so you saying if they could get into the lottery? You saying that?
Well, yeah. So say for instance, like the Lakers, and like
Right.
here's the point today. So even though I don't think necessarily Lakers will be a lottery team,
Right.
but they should be a part of the draft lottery. Like they and I think their odds,
word.
and I think their
Word.
odds should be like almost like they should at least guarantee. I don't say guarantee, but you just should have the same odds as a top 10 pick. So say for instance, if you like finish
I
that
like
top
that.
10, you got like a 5% chance to get the number 1 pick or something
I
like
like
that. Whatever the odds, because like you said, that's gonna have the players might not go
Oh, I
hard,
love
but the management for sure are gonna be are gonna at least get these players out, because you like you said, ain't nobody. Oh no, you gonna play, you can play hard tonight,
Right. And
because
think
guess
about
what?
it.
Yeah,
If you get that, man, it like the whole thing is entertainment. So that right
yeah,
there will make you want to watch what they do the lottery. You're already sitting there, but think
yeah,
about it, man. If they was to
yeah.
do that and then like, damn,
Couple with that, hey,
you know what I'm saying? And then they motherfucking, I mean, excuse my language, but the Lakers end up getting the number 1. You're like, oh snap, because they
yep,
said that on the pod when they brought it up. They was like, how do you think they got Magic and they got Worthy? You know what I'm saying? It was through
yeah,
a coin, you know what I'm saying, flipped in the
coin
air.
flip,
You
yep,
know what I'm saying? That's
yeah,
great, man. Okay.
I think so. And another thing I do want them to do, like we had the quarterfinal games.
Mm-hmm.
I actually want those quarterfinal games to be on Christmas Day.
Word.
I think that either what you do is maybe you kind of stretch out the tournament for 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
or what you could do is essentially either you expand it by 2 weeks or you push it up forward 2 weeks. Because to me, I think that's a great idea, because those games are going to be meaningful. I think it would be great for a year like this year, because you don't have to worry about next year, because Christmas is on a Tuesday. Next year. But you know, because they've been competing with the NFL for the last last 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you can think about it, because now it's another one where you think to yourself, we literally have a Super Bowl matchup on Christmas Day potentially in San Francisco and Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Who you can't compete with that. I don't care, especially in the meaningless regular season game. But like, if you have those 4 quarterfinal games, they can work out the 5th game. I don't care what they want to do with the 5th game, and I think it gives an opportunity for small market teams, like you look at what situation like I talk about with Indiana, because are we ever going to see an Indiana Pacers host a Christmas Day game? I don't see it. I don't see it in the near future. But you get those opportunities. And I know people are like, well, we got to have a game at MSG at 10 o'clock. I mean, at 12 o'clock. I mean, not necessarily. The Knicks are better now, but like even when they were terrible, did we really care that the Knicks was, played on Christmas Day? Not necessarily.
Well,
But,
it is the biggest market, man.
I mean, yeah, but that's my thing is, yeah, but when they was terrible, did we really kind of care? I don't recall. It's 12 o'clock. I mean, yeah, the Knicks play on Christmas at 12 o'clock. But I think the quarterfinal game should be on Christmas Day, because they'll be playing for something. So,
right.
But yeah, I do like it. Yeah.
So do you think? I think they did well with the championship. There was a fight on, so I think everybody in Vegas had them a ball, because they had the game, and then right after the game, they had a pay-per-view fight on. I don't know. I can't remember if it was in Vegas or not, but I think it was perfect.
Yeah, and it was great, because, like I said, normally, because I was watching the Heisman Trophy presentation, and then I was going kind of back and forth between, and then after the thing was over at 9, I started watching. They had a 30 for 30. I was watching that, and I was watching the game as well. So, like I said, who watches NBA basketball? When it comes to basketball this time of year, I will admit I am a casual at this point. I'm not a casual maybe like after February, after at the Super Bowl, I'm entrenched with the NBA. But yeah, you turn a casual NBA fan in a winter time, because if you would have sat there and say I watched a regular season basketball game from start to finish in the second week of December,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't be like, "You all right? You sick? You what's wrong? Ain't nothing else on TV?" You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what the NCAA tournament did. It made turn like me. I would admit, like I said, I'm a casual from October to about January, February.
Right.
And
that's what I'm saying. And truth be told, like my dad, he watch every game. You know what I mean? Like he just do. He watch everything. And I'm a casual too. After Christmas. You know what I mean? That I want to see what they're doing after the All-Star game. I just think that I think a lot of things with these tournaments is really helping the general managers. You know what I'm saying? Like and like to me and the coaches, I would say, okay, like you got to completely see like the Bucks. It's time for them to get rid of what's his name, Portis.
Bobby.
It's time for him to go. I would, and then I would get rid of him and get some other big. They got a lot of bigs though, but I would get rid of him and see what they can get for them, and then like maybe a taller guard to back up, because there's something missing there, and I don't think Giannis is as happy. Also, you know what I mean? That fourth quarter, I put that on Facebook. It was something on the floor. I was like, man, where Giannis at? Like he just disappeared. But anyway. No, we gotta
go. But yeah, man, it was crazy.
I think
so.
Anyway, go ahead. You good?
No, what's up?
I think that, like I said, these tournaments is showing. It's kind of showing. It's kind of like letting people see some things that they want to promote stuff, but it's like, nah, it's not clicking like it was. Y'all gonna have to make some decisions, man.
So we got to talk about our game to watch this weekend. So this week's game to watch this weekend is powered by SeatGeek. Head over to SeatGeek. Use that promo code CouchCoach to get yourself $20 off your first purchase using SeatGeek. And and we'll talk about our games to watch. So if it's games that you actually want to see in person, just head over to SeatGeek. Use that promo code CouchCoach. Get yourself $20 off. So, what's your game to watch this weekend?
I got two. Cowboys versus the Bills. Bills 7-6, Cowboys 10-3. Like you said, Bills been playing some pretty good ball. They 7-6. They got to win. You know what I mean? They need to win. Like you got to win. And so go in there and change the whole dynamic of the Cowboys because they feeling themselves right now. My second game is the Titans, which is 5-8 with the 7-6. I think they 7-6 Texans. The Texans is in fourth. But what I was saying was, if you pay attention, you got the Jags at 8-5, you got the Colts at 7-6, you got the Texans at 7-6, and you got the Titans at 5-8. The Titans is playing. They played against Miami. They just won. It's real tight. The Jags been losing. You know what I mean? And I think the Colts are going to lose, but I think that's a division to watch because is CJ, is he playing?
I know he's in had a concussion. I don't know.
Right.
He hasn't been cleared yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
They said that Lawrence is playing. They said he probably know he practiced today. I don't know if he's playing, but they said he practiced. So they lose. You know what I mean? That division is up. That division is wide open, man. So I think the Titans versus Texans is going to be a real good game to watch.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that one because you think about it, because Jacksonville's playing Baltimore on Monday Night Football. So, like you said, they dropped down to 8-6, and Houston went it's 8-6,
and the Colts win.
Yeah, and you know what's and that's one thing too where it's weird because to me this week is almost like I call the theme of the week is the domino effect, because I definitely in a weird way. So my game to watch, and I think it is weird. The first domino is obviously you look at Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. They play on Saturday. Then that 4:00 game. It's weird because like the loser of that could potentially open the door for Houston and possibly the Denver Broncos. So that leads to my game of the week: the Detroit Lions versus the versus the Denver Broncos. I mean, you look at obviously the Lions losing to essentially the Bears, which it's a divisional game. It just happens. So then you look at it now. Not Houston, but Denver. They're another team where they've kind of picked themselves back up from pretty much from the basement of the AFC West, and now they're within one game, of the AFC West. I think the thing with the Detroit is they're at a point now where we got to figure out is this team for real or not. Like I talked about it on one of the shows, NFL Matchup Madness I do on Tuesday nights. We gotta understand we know this Detroit Lions team bite kneecaps at 1:00 and 4:15 in the afternoon. Can they literally bite kneecaps at night? And we're gonna really see. They got 2 primetime matchups, and within the next 2 weeks, obviously they got Denver this week, and then they got They got to go to Dallas on December the 30th. So we really just want to see what this team is all about. And this is kind of a must-win for both of these teams. I think if the Lions, they could definitely kind of put themselves kind of essentially on the trajectory to win the NFC North for the first time in over 30 years. And then Denver. I think Denver has a spot, even though they can get in now with that wild card, but I don't think they're going to win I don't think they're going to get the AFC West. And I think, they still be one game behind because Kansas City, they got the Patriots. If they lose the Patriots, you're gonna see a different side of Patrick Mahomes. It's gonna be dark. But yeah, I like that situation. So I think the Broncos and the Lions that's my matchup of the week. It's my game to watch. Looking forward to watch that on prime time.
And it makes sense. Word. It seems like there's a lot of games to watch. Like you said, this week is a domino effect. Wow.
Yeah. And then it's crazy. It's funny. It is going to be funny if you take a snapshot. Even tonight, if you take a snapshot tonight, and then you fast forward to Tuesday at midnight, the standings going to look dramatically different between what you see tonight before for this week starts, and then the end of it. So that's the thing. That's the thing with the NFL. You cannot match. You cannot match that. I don't care what nobody say. That's the NFL for you. It's the greatest reality television series there is. Forget Real Housewives of Atlanta, Orange County, PG, or whatever you want to call it, type of stuff. All kind of variations. The NFL is the greatest reality show.
Right.
So.
Right.
So we gotta do pick 7. We'll do pick 7. We'll get that going now. We got a Thursday night affair on Amazon, and boy, oh boy, the puns are going. So we got Aiden O'Connell versus Easton Stick in this matchup. And Amazon got the short end of the stick yet again this week. Who you got? Chargers, Raiders. Who you got?
Raiders.
Yeah, give me the Raiders. The crying Raiders kid gonna be okay. You're not gonna hate the Raiders this week, young man. We got the Vikings and the Bengals, a Saturday matinee at the Jungle. Who you got?
Vikings.
Okay. Give me the Bengals. Give me Jake Browning and the sizzling hot, Bengals. And shout out to our guy Kevin McAllister, aka Joe Burrow. Get well, young fella. We got the Steelers and the Colts in a midday Saturday affair. This is the matchup before supper. What you got?
Man, I'm going with the Steelers, please.
Come on,
14. Pass it to 14. That's all we got to do.
Yeah, man. Pull through, nephew. Pull through, nephew. Shout out to my guy, Joe, Mitch Trubisky. But man, give me the Colts in this matchup. Give me the George Guard. We got Saturday night prime time under the lights in Detroit. We got the kneecap biters of Detroit versus the Denver Broncos. I got versus Russ.
Broncos.
Okay. I got love for for our guy Russ. Shout out to Russ. Just had his daughter. 2-time Richmond Town Dispatch Player of the Year. I got love for you, Russ, but
Yeah, I hear you
give me
talking.
Detroit. Give me the Detroit Lions, man. Get your dentures and your mouth guards ready. They can bite some knees on the Saturday night. We got the Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills in the afternoon, set in the Sunday afternoon affair in Western New York.
Um, I hate to do this, but I'm going with the Bills.
Okay. Me too. I tell you, if I was a little bit younger and more in shape, I'd be jumping on tables with y'all. Bills Mafia forever. Give me the Buffalo Bills. We got the Baltimore Ravens. They're not at the Avenue. They actually got to go to Duval and play the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got the Jags. Who you got?
Man, I wish I'm picking the Ravens, but I wish that damn, what's my man's name from Duval? I wish he had a reality show where he watched games. They just got the camera on him because him and
Lil
Gary
Duval?
Owens. Yes,
Okay. Lil Duval?
Lil Duval. Him and Gary
Yeah.
Owens had me dying last time, man. He was like, "Smile, man." He said, "I never loved that. I never liked that fucking song." Like, then he left him in Jacksonville.
Damn.
But yeah, I'm going with the Ravens.
Yeah, shout out to Lil Duval, aka Rolling Powell, no relation. Shout out to my guy. Yeah, give me the Ravens. I definitely think, but Sunshine, I don't know. This would be kind of the game where Sunshine kind of do his thing, and you might get bit on this one. But it will make for compelling TV, especially now with the Ravens holding that top spot in the AFC. This, like you said, this would be Sunday night would be the night that this happened. And shout out to Maria.
Right.
Maria Taylor. About to have that baby real soon. Yeah. All right. Then round out our Monday Night Football matchup, Eagles and the Seahawks. What you got?
Man, the Seahawks been losing. I'm going with the Seahawks, but what is it about November and December that the Seahawks they was quietly one of the most dangerous teams in the league, and then since November they just been sliding. So I'm gonna go with the Seahawks, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles, man. I can't see them losing 3 straight.
Me neither. Me neither.
Because if they lose 3 straight, they about to be in the basement with the Commanders. No, let me stop.
No, you're doing too much.
Yeah, probably a little bit, but hey, it's 'tis the season for extraness. So, game ball this week. Who you got?
I'm giving it the game ball to Travis Hunter, who was named first time. What does it say? APFW AA All American. Basically, make it first team All American. Congratulations to him. He this season he had 3 interceptions, 57 catches, 721 yards, and 5 TDs. Congratulations, Travis Hunter.
Shout out Travis Hunter, man. Our guy, You ever watch him on social media, like on TikTok and stuff?
Yeah,
TikTok,
I thought your man.
Onesies.
Yeah, I thought Ramsey was the sauce king, but yeah,
the sass god, the new sass god,
right.
But yeah, man, he did like a little tour, him and his girlfriend. I'm like, damn, this dude was born like in 2002. He lived better than me.
Yeah.
I'm like, golly, like this dude. I was like, they got a nice apartment. I'm like, I should have played football. I should have got some NIL deals. Maybe want to go to high school and see if I got dig up a transcript, see if I got some NCAA eligibility left at 39 years old.
All you gotta do is get to college. They got quarterbacks. We know they got quarterbacks 45 years old still playing.
I know.
That's crazy.
Sure.
They worry about everything else. How you gonna have a player damn near in his 30s still playing? And what's he gonna do? Is he going to the league? Well, he only got 2 years of prime. Crazy.
No, like tell me that you peaked in college without telling me you peaked in college. But yeah, man, I know. I'm like, damn. I need to. I'm like, damn. Travis Hunter living good. I'm over here like, damn.
You know what's weird about that? You remember that? Remember your homeboy that's the agent? And remember he
Yeah.
was telling that story about the dude,
Mm-hmm.
the dude that was calling him to be, he wanted him to be his agent. He was like, "How old are you?" And he said the age. I mean, shoot, he might have just been coming out of.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
That's
But
nuts.
yeah, man. I gotta give a definitely huge shout out to Zach Wilson, Mr. Had Your Mama, because he coming to town. Great performance against the Texans last week, 27 for 36, 301 yards and 2 touchdowns. But in all seriousness, man, the stuff that Zach Wilson has gone through, that's the moxie and the toughness for that. Because a lot of people, and I, from a human element situation, he could have folded. And he's had some situations with this team and be able to fight back and do his thing. I'm definitely proud of a guy like Zach Wilson. I'm so happy for him having this type of success. I just hope you don't have it next week when we play y'all on Christmas Eve, or hell, if Aaron Rodgers come back, Lord, if he come back, don't ruin my Christmas. But final thoughts before we head on out tonight. What you got?
Oh man, great show. I mean, yeah, man. Can't wait the next week so we can talk about what else is going to happen. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to figure out what else could happen. You got Patrick Mahomes whining. You got the Joker whining. You know what I mean? Like, let's see what else is going to happen now that Draymond is he got to sit down somewhere. Is Ja back yet?
He's supposed to be back. What, the 19th? What is 19th? Is what, Tuesday?
Okay.
I think either Monday or Tuesday. I think either the 18th or the 19th. But I think he's good because the way they interviewed Adam Silver the other day. I think this might have been during the NCAA tournament or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he's saying is like he's met like the criteria for him to come back, as far, I guess, like classes or whatever that was required by the league.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Ja back. Oh boy, he gotta save this team, man. That team. Can he save the Memphis Grizzlies? Because they should be sinking. Shout out to Michael Ray Rich.
They tore it up, man. They tore a bunch of teams up this year. Be like they did a bad job. There's a lot of teams that was there that's not there no more. Y'all gonna see.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Y'all gonna see.
Yeah, Ja. Can you fix this team or not? But yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, how Memphis is this year. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, man. Once again, another great show. Yeah, like you said, next week. Oh, it's gonna be some stuff going on next week, especially with the NFL. The playoff picture definitely gonna be a little bit clearer. It's still gonna be murky because we still have 3 weeks left. Yeah, and then next week definitely gonna be some great matchups going into week 16.
Right.
So yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna be some stuff to talk about. Oh yeah, just because of the holiday, in most industries, the holidays kind of dry up. Shoot, sports, it never stops.
Right.
Never ever stop. But yeah. So social media before we head on out and upcoming, what you got going?
Social media, DT Morgan 78, Instagram, Sean Morgan, Facebook. I'm gonna start a protest for the Lakers to please trade D'Angelo Russell. Please. He is a waste. He should not be there. You could do so much better. Send him to Detroit. Maybe Detroit needs him, and maybe we can get. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. If you're down with me, please join.
Yeah, man.
Send him to Chicago.
If you go to Detroit, man, he gonna be on a milk carton, NBA milk carton. He literally gonna be on Who He Play For. The next episode of Who He Play For.
Right.
If you go to Detroit, he'll be forgotten, bro.
He keeps forgetting he's a point guard. He's really not. He's really a 2. But he's horrible. Be like he hides behind what's your man Austin Reeves. Like if you really pay attention, you got to pay attention. He starts as a point guard. Austin Reeves comes off the bench, but guess who's closing the game?
Who?
Austin Reeves. D'Angelo is not on. He's not on the floor, B, and that's what I'm saying. Like they gave him that extension. I'm wondering just so they can have some type of they can add something to whatever trade they're gonna make because
yeah,
he needs to go. B like he's see it's sad because you have players on teams like Detroit, Chicago. No disrespect, like just teams that's not doing well, and they playing their hearts out. They're playing their hearts out, and their team's not going anywhere. And they should come to teams that's really trying to make it. Like D'Angelo's horrible.
Yeah, man. He goes somewhere on a losing team. He'll just be forgotten, man. That'd be crazy. But yeah, so pretty much social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, aka Twitter, Couch Coach Live. Also check out the website couchcoachlive.com. Yeah, man. Yeah. Once again, back at it again. We'll catch you guys next week, man. This has been this week's Couch Coach Live, and we're out.
You woke up.